Welcome to the 34 Motorsports Product Showcase. We're proud to offer the full line of Simpson Racing safety products. The Shark Speedway is a perfect brain bucket to keep your melon as safe as possible. We carry every model and size of Hans device, and these have saved countless lives. The Hybrid Pro Lite is an alternative to the Hans device and is just as effective. The DNA 3-layer suit offers maximum protection when things get hot. And hey, dude, those comfy shoes won't help one bit when things go south. Keep those hands ready to work with a pair of Vortex FIA gloves meeting every current standard. From 5 to 7 points, we carry every one of the Simpson harnesses, keeping your rear end right where it should be. Keep all your gear clean and together with the helmet and FHR bag, and always be ready to hop in a race car. Visit 34motorsports.com and order today.
I'm Ryan Newman, and since I started with Indiana Donor Network and Driven to Save Lives, I found out that some people think that they can't be an organ donor. The truth is, anyone can sign up to be an organ donor.
Anyone?
Anyone?
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm sure. Anyone can sign up to be an organ donor. So don't count yourself out because somebody's counting on you. Go to driventosavelives.org and sign up today.
But my heart's going to you, Ryan.
Love that shirt.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Highside Hustle right on the National Racing Network. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we have survived the World of Outlaws weekend in central Pennsylvania with a 1-1 tie, but it is what it is here. I mean, we could count Bridgeport last night, but yeah. Good evening, folks. My name is Bert Wojcik. Alongside me is the great, big, sexy Adam Rubright, as I pointed out to the wrong side, but big, sexy feeling a little under the weather tonight, but he's out here, so we're going to give Adam a little bit of the night off here in a couple minutes. We're going to be joined by our executive producer, Chris Graham, in just a few minutes. But we told Adam we'd bring him on here and bust his balls just a little bit, just because, you know, we love our big sexy.
Yeah, what's up, boys?
You might have survived Outlaw weekend. I think the rain did me in.
The rain did you in. That's a good one.
You like absolute ass.
Yeah, I feel like it too. Thanks for reminding me on how terrible I feel.
Yeah, you look good. You look terrible. You sound worse. Go get some rest, buddy.
Should I hit it? Should I hit the fine people with the Finches Meat Market news and notes before I rally off?
Yes, yes, let's do it.
Yeah, go ahead. Let's do that real quick if you feel like doing it, but
if I can contribute one thing today, that'll be
Go ahead.
All right, so as most of you have seen already, Tanner Thorson and Reinbold Underwood have split ways. If anyone imaginary cares, I personally thought it was a really good duo, especially in the midget and the sprint car or the wingless side of things. But of course, like everyone, they want to explore the winged side of things. Which leaves an open seat that Mitchell Moles is going to fill in for right now, and he's going to make his USAC 410 debut this weekend at Terre Haute. And if that's not a terrifying thing, I don't know what is.
Yeah. That's a way to get your intro. That's for sure.
Yeah,
Terre Haute.
Let's not just like break him in a little easy. No, we're just gonna throw you right to Terre Haute, which I see nothing wrong with it. I mean, full sends, brother.
Why not full sends?
A lot of people might have saw this morning. Robbie Price is set to compete for Sides Motorsports for the remainder of the year. Looking to see how that goes. You know, California kid getting a shot at the Outlaws. Where have we seen that before? Quite a few times, I must say.
Quite a few.
What else
I believe you guys have T-shirts from the guy that's done that.
We do.
Quite a few, I'm sure. Here's one that really piques my interest here. More than 50 combined USAC Silver Crown and Brown's Oil midget drivers are set to compete at the Carbonite Classic on May 27th at Lucas Oil Indy Raceway Park.
Can I say how incredible that show is going to be?
Right now they have 27 Silver Crown and 25 midgets. And that's still
I just got goosebumps.
Like a week and a half away.
Yeah, next weekend, next Friday, I believe,
Yeah, plus USF 2000 and Indy Pro 2000 as well.
And also, it is the night before the Little 500. Yeah. My personal favorite race of the year, by the way. Love the Little 500.
So that should be fun. I mean, it's definitely going to be a good crowd. Good field of drivers, too. I'm almost certain that night alone brings in a good crowd of drivers.
Well, think about last year, too. That was a damn good race, too. I believe they moved both the Silver Crown and the midgets to Saturday before the Little 500 because of rain.
Yeah, because there was like weather in the area on Friday, and then it was like
basically they ran everything Saturday morning.
It was a triple header at 3 different racetracks.
And it was Jake Swanson that almost won all 3 races, by the way.
Yes. Cody Swanson.
Cody Swanson. Sorry, I'm thinking Jake Swanson.
Cody Swanson.
Cody Swanson.
Get it right.
How has
right
that
last
guy
name wrong?
Not
wrong
in
Swanson.
an IndyCar, by the way, pissed me off.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that honestly surprises the heck out of me on how he's not in IndyCar yet.
How he's not running a little 500 or 500? I don't know. Not the regular 500 to say, but
yeah.
What else you got there, Big Sexy? Anything else?
What else do I got? To no one's surprise, Chris Smokey Madden has won yet another $50,000 race. This time, last weekend at Charlotte for the XR Series Colossal 100.
And if I'm right, that he won on Thursday night
for 25.
So he won so that's 75,000 last weekend. Larson won last Friday night at Charlotte. So big money, Smokey, man. I tell you, Chris Madden, he's probably the best late model driver in the country, without doubt. And he's not even on a series. He's not committed to a tour,
which is kind of cool because he's doing like a true outlaw thing.
Mm-hmm.
Why would you commit to a late model tour at this point?
I don't know, Chris.
If you can run for $20,000 3 nights a week, it seems like.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, look, tonight at Marshalltown, they're running for 22 Marshalltown. I think every Castro flown racing night in America is 22 to win. Like, it's shit. You can win that on Thursday night. Let's go. I mean, what the hell? I mean, it's a good time right now for late model racing. There's some big money races coming up, and we're just scratching the surface of the season. That's the thing, is that it's just getting started here in a lot of spots. And what is it? You got the next weekend. You got 2 weeks. Show Me 100 coming up. You have or next week, I should say, the Show Me 100. You know, you have what else we got coming up here? You got the Firecracker coming up soon. You got Cedar Lake coming up soon for the late models, and that's just the next month and a half. Like, it's amazing the money that's out there
The
for late
late
models right now.
models-
Where's it in sprint cars though?
The late models have run for I would put the number at somewhere around $500,000, and we're not to Memorial Day yet.
And
That's insane.
Speaking of right after Memorial Day, just remember that the Dirt or the Eldora Million's coming up soon.
Yeah.
1 million. That's 1 million to win, right? I believe.
I believe so.
Here's
Yeah.
the thing, though. Yes, we have a tire shortage, right? Which sucks. There's no way around it. You saw how many guys used tires last night at Bridgeport. It's
We will get
only
into
gonna
that
get
then.
it's only gonna get worse. I'm just saying my bits before I hop off here. It's only gonna get worse in my opinion, which sucks. Honestly, I mean, it could get better, it could get worse. You never really know. But I saw a thing today that gas prices are expected to reach double digits.
Yeah.
That's no bueno for race teams.
Mhm.
Like these big dollar teams, yeah, they might be able to afford it if diesel.
It's no bueno for anybody.
It's
This is where this stuff is really going to. The chickens are going to come home to roost, quite frankly,
Yeah.
because there's no way for somebody to pay the fuel bill to go back and forth to work, let
Yeah.
alone the extra money to say, hey, I'll go from Bucks County to Williams Grove or Port Royal. We're lucky if we're going to go to Bridgeport at that kind of gas price. And quite frankly, if the streaming services, pointing specifically at Flow and Dirt Vision, but more so Flow and XR, if they don't increase their payouts to these racetracks, we could really be in trouble.
Yeah.
Volunteer
This is
Speedway
gonna-
closed basically because they didn't read the contract with Flow. They thought they were getting more than they did. So it was stupidity on their part. But still, streaming money isn't going to save you unless the streaming services start to pay a ton more.
the thing that figuratively and literally saved us at the beginning of COVID once we got racing back together with streaming because we weren't able to go to the tracks.
Right.
Is literally going to ruin the sport we love. One way or another.
Unless they go back to do it for COVID. That's almost the way it's going to go.
Yes, it's great for the sport. It's great exposure. But on the other side of it, it's not great for the promoters on the tracks who aren't getting paid. And they can't pay the drivers. If you can't pay the drivers to show up, how are they getting there? Because
we sort of have to call this like it is, though. It's not like Flow is out there trying to screw people or anybody else for that matter. There's contracts that were put in place, and you're not going to offer a deal if you don't think you can make the subs to pay the bill.
Yeah.
The problem is there's now more people staying home to watch Flow, Dirt Vision, XR, etc., than there are going to the racetracks outside of the big events. The crowd last night at Bridgeport was incredible. I didn't hear a whole load of the complaining about getting out of the parking lot, which sounds good as well.
Mm-hmm.
But racetracks can't survive on those 3 or 4 monster events a year. They need us to show up at the gate every Saturday night.
They're weekly bread and butter.
Unless you have like your major events come in like a couple times a year, like Williams Grove, they get the Outlaws 6 times a year. That's more than most tracks get. And they said a weekend or if you ran, somebody told me this, I believe, I forget who it was, but somebody said if you run just those 6 races a year, a place at the Grove can lose money on every other race, I believe, just because how much money they make on those 6 races. So,
just look at ticket sales alone for those events. I mean, grandstands $30, pits $35. That's just Friday.
Yeah,
you're looking at $35 Saturday and $45 for the pits on Saturday.
And it was jam packed on Saturday. Jam packed on Saturday.
They had a good crowd, but it also wasn't a national open crowd, It wasn't a summer nationals.
But again, it's those things where it builds up to the National Open. It's I tell everyone that it's a build up to the Natty Open. You start at the Morgan Cup where it's okay, a good crowd, grandstands are filled. You get a little bit bigger crowd, summer nationals. You know, now everyone's out of school. Everyone's they plan their weekend trip around the summer nationals, and then you go into Natty Open where everyone's there because it is the biggest sprint car race on the East Coast. So. It is. It's going to be an interesting summer. I think. Hopefully, something is. I don't think anything's going to be done about the gas price. I don't have a good feeling about this going forward. But all you can do is hope and pray that it does get better as the summer goes on, and maybe by a miracle, by the grace of God, that it's not going to get as bad as what these experts are predicting. But
it's and Bert, you know me, like we're slow at work. I am.
Mm-hmm.
They offer VTO. I'm fucking out of there. I turned it down twice this week already, just because I need full paychecks to be able to get
same here.
the races. Like, I guess we'll let the cat out of the bag. I'm working for URC now, along with
our newest official, Mr. Adam Rudbright.
Breaking news.
I'll be using that money just to get to the track. Like. Mm-hmm. I don't know. It's what you think could be supplemental to try and help out and pay some bills is literally going to pay you just to get to work. So
literally,
there's not going to be a whole lot of. If the trend continues the way it goes, there's going to be a whole lot of sitting outside by the fire watching it on Dirt Vision, which also comes to a point of when does Dirt Vision and Flow Racing have to raise their costs?
Yeah.
If anyone sees where I'm trying to go with that side of things.
Much
like how Netflix and Hulu and all that stuff have to raise their costs. At what point is Flow going to have to do it just so they can get their vans or the cameras to whatever event?
Here's where that sort of works in, like, everybody has a little bit different business model. Obviously, the companies that are more focused on pay-per-view, they're going to be able to raise costs proportionately if they needed to. But a lot of Flow's content is not produced by Flow personnel. It's locally produced, and Flow is the distributor.
Okay.
There's a big difference there where, like, the All-Stars, I believe, are produced by Flow. And Tyler, correct me if I'm wrong on this one. But the All-Stars, I believe, are produced by Flow, whereas USAC is produced in-house. So where that makes a difference is the cost to Flow doesn't change for USAC. It does change for the All-Stars. So it all depends on the complexities of who's producing versus distributing and all that kind of stuff. These agreements are very complicated, and some racetracks will do very well with their agreement, and some of them really, really are not doing well with them.
Yeah.
For example, Volunteer.
Yeah.
Like I said, Volunteer Speedway was not the fault of Flow. That was very much they didn't read the contract right, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Always read the fine print, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, here's on hand, folks.
Yeah, well, when this is where it sort of burns me up a little bit, because you're a multi-million-dollar company in Flow, you have a team of corporate attorneys, and you're dealing with podunk racetrack promoters. Yeah, here, just sign this thing, and it's a 14-page contract. It basically says this. Well, no, read it.
Yeah. Any good businessman knows you read the contract before you sign the damn contract, but yeah, that's the thing. So, all right. That's enough depressing shit out of the way. Adam, you gonna stick around? We're gonna talk some Outlaws. You're gonna head off?
I'm gonna hang out, I guess.
All right.
Probably not gonna say a whole lot, but I'll hang out and pop my head in every once in a while.
Brett Klinger, by the way, saying, here's how I use Flow. I'll be at the track 100% on Friday and Saturdays. I use it for a midweek show that I can't make. Support your local racetrack.
And so that's the way I look at it for last night. Like, there was no way I was going to make Bridgeport last night. I wanted to make Bridgeport in the worst way. But I got to work at 4:30. You got to fight Philly traffic then, and in order to get down there, and then you're sitting in the parking lot for God knows how long because Kyle Larson's there, and that brings everybody and the mother out, and Bell and Bowman, but mostly Larson because I don't know. Anyway, so I didn't really want to sit in the parking lot till after midnight last night. Get home at 2:00 in the morning, be up at 5 this morning for work. I've done it before. It sucks. But Dirt Vision last night, perfect example of doing it. And Bridgeport, sure, they could have used my $40 or whatever it was to get in the pits, but the crowd there, that didn't hurt too much by not being there last night, I think. So it is what it is. That's the great thing about Dirt Vision and Flow. And plus you get to see tracks throughout the country. Like, the nice thing was Saturday night during the Rainbow Light, Dirt Vision, they put on Knoxville at the Grove. That was a nice thing. I get to see Knoxville weekly here. You get to watch the All-Stars. We watch the All-Stars both on Friday and Saturday night. There's no physical way we could have got to Ohio. But you can keep track with this stuff now. That's where Flow is good. But yet nothing beats being at track and seeing your friends and just being around the cars, the atmosphere. There's nothing like it. It will never go away for the true diehard fans there. I think that there's this whole mantra that people will sit at home and just watch Flow, but I don't think it's there because I know a lot of people that yes, Flow's there and Dirt Vision's there, but yet they're still at the track every week. Simple as
I
that.
think Flow is really good for, and that's I have to get out of the habit of saying Flow. The streaming services are good for the touring series.
Mm-hmm.
There's no possible way to chase the Outlaws every night on the road unless you're getting paid by the Outlaws.
Mm-hmm.
Or you're, independently wealthy. So the reality is 90+% of fans can't watch the All-Stars or the Outlaws or USAC every night unless they're on some sort of streaming service. The problem is the local tracks. Everybody is on this kick of we need to be on streaming. And they're starting to see, Shell absolutely hammers this point home that they don't want to be on streaming because they know it's going to hurt their gate. Well, they run on Wednesday nights for the most part. That's their big show. Kutztown on a Wednesday night. People complain about the geo block that's on Flow, but you know what? They're at the racetrack.
True.
Hell, there's places in Upper Bucks County that don't get the Flow feed because of the geo block.
Yeah.
Does anyone happen to have Dirt Vision on right now on Can-Am?
No, why?
It appears as if the timing and scoring line was ripped out of the ground on the front stretch.
What?
It's the only thing I can think of that would be doing what they're doing right now is the
ripped out of the ground on the front stretch.
Is that Chase Rodman covering a modified?
I saw
yes,
he
that
was
is Chase Rodman. And hold on a second.
I'd love to have the sound on this, but I don't want to get.
Like it was a clean cut down here. We had to move some clay out of the way here, so it looks like we're just about ready to get this thing going. Well, thank you very much for your help down there, Chase, and tell all those guys that have been down there with you. Thank you.
Oh my God! Sorry, folks, for the delay, but yeah,
I'm bringing this in here. This is breaking news to me. So.
So what was the scoring loop was it up out of the ground? Somebody grabbed it?
I don't know. I just plugged it on and saw them digging on a trench on the front stretch.
Let's see if there's anything on Twitter. Sorry, folks, for being like this is this is breaking news. I've never seen anything like that.
Here.
Let's see here.
Yeah,
that is super weird.
I didn't want to interrupt your show here, but
no, you're good, bud.
That's one of those things that it kind of makes your brain hurt. As it's
it must have been not too long ago because they were just
they went live an hour ago. What in the heck happened?
Because it was literally just 15 minutes ago that they were doing Group 2 on Hot Labs. Huh. Interesting.
You also
So
have
we'll have to keep an eye on
Millbirds
that.
tonight.
Huh.
on
We'll have to
Dirt
keep an eye
4.
on that then. But yeah, Super Dirt Car's back. Yeah. So that's good to see them back after a great race at Bridgeport. Matt Shepard picked up the win last night at Outlaw, but let's talk a little bit about last week with the World of Outlaws Non-Standard Drake Sprint Car Series coming in for their first trip in 2022. And boys, I tell you what, let's start off last Wednesday night. I know it's a week ago, but what a story it was. Jacob Allen with that win at Lincoln. I don't care if he's an outlaw. I don't care if it went 1-0 to the Outlaws at that point. People are saying, oh, it's tied. It's a tie. No, it's an outlaw win, but it's a great outlaw win because my God, what a race. It was that good Lincoln track that we've gotten all year long. Maybe not as slicked off, but it still was a fantastic surface by Fred Putney and the crew. But I tell you what, it surprised me. Macri fell. Macri fell back pretty quick.
There you
As you
go,
look here,
people.
this
By
is
the way,
a
live look-in, courtesy of Dirt Vision. Yeah, looks like they're
they
putting the
rip.
racetrack back together.
And before that, it was literally like two lines coming out of the track. Wow, that's I've never seen that before. I want to see what happened there. Hopefully, they have a replay or something like that. But anyway, yes, Jacob Allen, emotional win there. Macri fell, which surprised me a lot. Spencer Basin looked good last week. Carson Macedo looked good. But Justin Peck, he continues a great run as well, boys, throughout here. But the main story, as I said, was Jacob Allen just making just an absolute storybook down at the Lincoln Speedway.
It was a really fantastic race, and years past you've seen Jacob kind of squander away an opportunity like that where he went from, I think he started what, fourth or fifth.
Uh-huh.
He battled for that, and that was really one of the first times that I've seen him just take over a race.
Mm-hmm.
And much of the same on Saturday at Williams Grove, until he ran out of fuel there with 2 to go. That race was his to lose. I mean, yeah, I get it. He started front row, but still, he
It
had
was
enough
so.
speed. He had enough speed to take the lead and pull away, and he was good in lap traffic, which was hot and heavy at times. And it was just an all-around impressive weekend by Jacob. And if you would have told me at the start of the season that Jacob Allen would have 2 wins before we hit June, I would have told you you're absolutely crazy.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%, Adam. And Chris, I don't know how much you got to watch last week there, but it's just showing how good Jacob Allen is right now. And he is the best shark car out on the series right now. And for years, it's been Jacob's been in the shadow of Logan, but this weekend, it was all Jacob Allen. And it's kind of nice to see. You want to see both the local boys, our 2 local outlaws do better, do good on tour, but it's kind of refreshing to see Jacob Allen being that better guy for right now in shark racing.
Yeah, and not
Is
to
it
mention,
a big story that the Shark racing cars are performing as well as they are at this point in the season?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we're not necessarily used to seeing them as regular top 3 cars.
I mean,
Always good
and
equipment, but
absolutely.
not.
I don't know. I mean, I think Logan's getting himself to be a top 3 car most nights. I mean, he's showing last night. I mean, he was fighting with Donnie most of the night for that 3rd spot. Once he got everything together or came back from the dash there. No, I think they're going to be top 3 cars now. I do, or at least Logan is. But Jacob, again, the best shark car on the tour right now, without a doubt. I feel like. I mean, last night he didn't look bad at Bridgeport even. Honestly,
I think a lot of it has to do with how Jacob changed his mindset on things.
Mhm.
You know, we're talking about the same Jacob who had a conversation with Brian Brown last year about potentially not racing.
Mhm.
And
Which is a
I
great
think
read, by the way. If you go read it, go ahead.
I
Find it,
I
read it.
think
It's a great read.
I think something clicked in Jacob's head, like, hey, I'm worthy of this. I'm good enough to
Mhm.
do this. I have some of the best equipment in the world. And here we are. You know,
Yeah.
multiple top tens, 2 wins on the season so far, which again, if you would have told me that Logan or Jacob has more wins than Logan at this point of the season, I would have told you you're crazy. But he looks good while he's doing it. He's been awfully impressive. Like you said, he's the fastest shark racing car out right now. And we're not used to seeing that. We're so used to
No.
the Logan Schuchart show for shark racing, not necessarily Jacob Allen show.
No.
And this
Without
goes
doubt.
to show you on just coming to the racetrack with a positive mindset, night in and night out, can do you absolute wonders
Mhm.
on the track and off the track. He looks like a person, and he's racing like none of us have ever seen him race before.
Yeah. Without doubt. And it's the best I've seen look and just feel too. He's been fantastic the last couple weeks, and just looking at his face and just the relief on his face on Wednesday, it was awesome. But I wanted before we switch over to the Grove here, second place Justin Peck. He was getting really tired of finishing second, and what it led into a hell of a weekend for him. A second, a win, a second, and a win for Justin Peck over 4 races here. Yeah, that 13 car, they're going to be they're getting their stride right now.
I
You want
think
to pull down
Adam's
your earpiece there,
going
Big Sexy?
full potato. There we go.
There we go.
Big Sexy forgot to pull down the earpiece.
Yeah, sorry, that's because I put it up in case I start hacking up a lung here. But
All good.
he's
You're toughing it out. I like
he's
it.
been another one. Awfully impressive. I think I saw a stat today somewhere that since joining Book Motorsports, he has 10 wins.
Mm-hmm.
That's by far the most that I can in recent memory for one driver in that particular.
Yeah. I think the last guy that had this much success was McMahon, or even thinking back further than that, maybe Jason Leffler, honestly, in the 13 cars. So,
Yeah.
It's been a very good car, but this is the best I think the Boot car's ever looked. And so, no, they're going to be a contender here. I mean, it was a good weekend for the All Stars. Anywhere really. Peck on Friday night at I-96. Wayne County went to Hunter Schoenberg, and then who had a very nice weekend. He was in the top 5 all weekend for Schoenberg. And then Sunday night at went to Peck as well. So, but all right, let's switch over to Saturday night then for the Outlaws at the Grove. And all night long dominated by the Outlaws. And I had this feeling on Bear Hill that, when you have a night that's just completely dominated by the Outlaws, the posse's going to win it. And sure as shit, it came down to that. Felt heartbreak for Jacob Allen, ran out of fuel, but the elation for Brett Morris going out there, pick up the win for the posse. Morgan Cup stays in Pennsylvania. Yeah, nobody was going to be sad if whoever won that race there. I mean, it's sad the way it ended with Allen run out of fuel, but the crowd was pulling for Jacob without a doubt. But it's still Posse gets a win, and it is tied 1-1 in the state of Pennsylvania. So, good race Saturday. Again, the Grove hits it third or fourth straight week in a row. The Grove has hit the surface. Even with a little bit of rain delay too. I thought even the rain helped it a little bit, but not as bad as I thought it could have been on Friday night or Saturday.
Yeah,
night,
I agree. I think the rain honestly helped Williams Grove on Friday because it was looking kind of choo-choo trainish in the heats, and then the rain delay and
which is typical on heat racing. Typical heat racing.
Yeah. And then the track kind of came into its own in the feature. You know, there was a couple different grooves from my standpoint. Anyway, I was down in 3 and 4.
Mm-hmm. That's what I saw in Bear Hill.
It
Yeah.
was super racy. You know, I couldn't tell you how many slide jobs I saw Macri try and put on or did put on multiple different people. And that's a hard thing to do at Williams Grove, especially when it's, you know, a tricky kind of hammer down racetrack, especially feature wise.
Yeah, it is. And it wasn't even that hammered down. Like, it slicked off nice, I thought. It was very dirty, though. I did notice that in the B main. It was super dirty in the B main, and even towards the A there, it really took a while for it to clean up. But when it cleaned off, it was good. Macedo and Marks had a nice battle. But here's the thing. So, Carson Macedo light this definitely ran out of fuel. We were talking about this Sunday morning, the camper. Wouldn't you have the cars start off at 1425? So make sure you're not light at the scales, so you're not baking on fuel. You know, because that little hiccup right there basically cost Carson Macedo the points lead over the weekend. Because he would have had, if I'm right with his third place run, I forget where Gravel and Sweet finish on Wednesday night, Lincoln, and Gravel didn't look like Gravel Friday night at the Grove. Sweet does struggle at the Grove in Lincoln. I'm pretty sure it would have put either Macedo. Macedo was second going into the Grove on Saturday night, and I'm pretty sure he would have took over the points lead, if not be right nipping at Brad Sweet's ass on last night going to Bridgeport. But light the scales, you drop all the way back to last. That's a lot of points you lose right there, Pig.
Absolutely. He definitely would have taken the points lead, if I'm not mistaken. But this all kind of sets up the Wednesday before we head back to Williams Grove at Port Royal. You know, there's only a couple outlaw races that have been there. You know, kind of an open notebook for a lot of teams. But I feel the next time you come back into Pennsylvania, it's kind of no surprise that Brad Sweet kind of runs off his own momentum. You know, he has a good run at Port Royal, you know, top 3.
He does have a win at Port Royal, too, back in 2015.
Yeah, that'll set him up nicely going into Williams Grove because he runs off his own confidence. You know, if he strings together a couple good weeks here and they come back into Pennsylvania, who's to say that Brad Sweet's luck doesn't turn around at Williams Grove the next time he's there? Same with Gravel, too. Because Gravel has a very good history at Williams Grove. It's been a track that Brad Sweet's predominantly struggled at. But, you know, you get that confidence high coming out of Port Royal. Who's to say we don't have a completely different outlook the next time the Outlaws come to the Grove?
And it's going to be a completely different outlook by the time the Outlaws come back to the Grove. I mean, normally by the summertime, you have a feeling who's going to fight for the championship or who is going to start running championship. But right now, let's see here. There's a 10-time defending outlaw. Oh, Donnie Schatz, welcome to the party, buddy. He found his shit this weekend. It seems like. You know, Donnie had a nice run last night at Bridgeport.
Donnie kind of looked like Donnie of years past.
Yes, he did.
This weekend,
he really did.
Which is a scary thing to think of because in my opinion, if there's anyone that's going to knock Brad Sweet off the throne this year, if Donnie Schatz puts together a strong couple of months here, it's going to be him. I mean, yes, Carson Macedo looks good. David Gravel's been knocking at the door the last couple of years. You know, the points battle has predominantly come down to those two, with the exception of Logan Schuchart adding his name into the mix. But, oh, wait, he crept into the top 5 over the weekend. So it's realistically anyone's ball game here. I think Logan's only 102, 103 back. Which
I'll tell you just a second. Yes, Chris. See you snuck your way in here.
On the subject of Donnie Schatz, do we think maybe that Ford Motor program is starting to come into its own a little bit? Is that maybe where some of the issues have been over the last couple of years? That was basically a from-scratch motor program. Now it feels like when you start putting the pieces together and getting the motor to run the way he wants it to, that could be really scary.
It
Well,
is because
here's
they didn't really change chassis manufacturers. They're
Mhm.
using predominantly all the same components that they've used years past, just that big exception. They, like you mentioned, Chris, they started from nothing with these Ford 410s, and they're getting to where they are now. Do I think they're 100% yet? No. But are they probably about the best Donnie's had since the inception of this whole Ford Performance 410 program? Absolutely. And like you said, if he gets that motor program to catch up with all of his knowledge that he's put together over the years and his just basic knowing of every single racetrack that they go to, look out.
Yeah, without doubt, and I agree, Chris. I think it is. Um, yeah, it is. Starting to come into its own. I thought when it first came out, it was getting into its own. Um, it's it may have took a little bit for it to find itself back again. Him and I know Ricky Warner was working on that, so he had to go kind of find a new crew chief since Ricky went off and started working on the Ford motor for TSR. But maybe that started. I think it started coming into its own, and Donnie maybe find itself here. And I went back and looked. Adam, you are right. Logan did sneak into the top 5. Actually, he snuck in on Friday night or Wednesday night at Lincoln. But here's how much this DQ hurt Carson Macedo. Going into Saturday night at the Grove, he was 8.8 back of Brad Sweet for the points lead. By after the Grove, after he was DQ'd at the Grove, currently right now he's 44 points back. But after the Grove, I can tell you here in just a second. After the Grove, it dropped him back to 42 points behind. That was an over 30-point swing that he lost on Brad Sweet on Saturday night by being light at the scales.
Yeah, I don't
I'm
know
sorry we changed
how
subject there, but
you.
you had me thinking about this here for a second on how, because I knew reading the article on Friday morning that I knew it was close, or Thursday morning I knew it was close. I didn't realize it was 8 points, but then you look how he fell over 30 points in
Yeah,
one night.
that's a tremendous amount of points to lose in one night. But
Mm-hmm.
if there's a team that can come back from that, it's definitely the Jason Johnson 41.
Yes.
You have Phil Deeds tuning the wrenches, one of the best in business. I don't know, man. It's such a hard thing, especially with where we're coming up at here. This weekend we had to Sharon and Atomic, which I think are going to be two fantastic
Attica.
races. Or Attica, yeah, that's right. Right state, different ballpark.
Right state,
Mind your
wrong
business.
wrong section of it.
Yeah, mind your business. All right. But yeah,
But I'll
it's
give you that. All three of those are badass tracks. Attica's awesome. Sharon's one of my favorite tracks. God, I hope I'm going to be completely obliterated. I'll be honest with you, folks. I'll be completely obliterated at the wedding I'm going to this weekend on Saturday night. But yeah, if I'm not, I will be watching Sharon and that slickness that they have at Sharon. Oh, nothing else like it. It's beautiful.
yeah, yeah. I'll be tuned in as much as I can from the wonderful state of Virginia,
Mm-hmm.
which uh, kind of looking forward to seeing a new track this weekend. But
Yes.
we'll see how it goes.
That's a beautiful thing about the touring series. But last race of the weekend, and I think it was the best race of the weekend without a doubt, last night at the Bridgeport Motorsports Park. All right, let's get this out of the way first. Track was shit in hot laps, qualifying, heat. It was dog shit. Chris popped his head in here. This ought to be
Yes, I
good.
did, because I'm going to come to the defense of Doug Rose and tell
Mm-mm.
everybody to shut the hell up. People pay for a ticket to the feature.
Yes, and I was getting there.
I don't
Yeah,
care how good the track is in qualifying. If you're running on the – I saw the post from Robert Ballou, and I agree with him 90% of the time. This time, I get there's a tire shortage. I get there's all sorts of things going on. I don't care if you burn up tires on the World of Outlaws. You're there to be the premier sprint car touring series in the world. Find the money to pay for the tires.
And secret, the Outlaws have tires.
Well,
That's
another. But my point is more, if you're going to bitch and moan about how the place looks in hot laps and qualifying, shut up.
I was leaning more
please.
on the tire shortage side of things, but listen, it got all every statement I said there thrown out the freaking window on during the heat race or feature race because my God, Bridgeport does it again. On unbelievable Slayer Fest, Sheldon Hansfield, Kyle Larson, Donnie Schatz, Logan Schuhart. Just my God, what a freaking feature! Oh, without a doubt, that is going to be a top 5 feature of the season, with Sheldon Hansfield picking the win, which, by the way, he did pass Kyle Larson for the win, which is something not many people can say that they've done in the last 2 years.
Yeah, absolutely. It's been a struggle for a lot of teams to pass Larson, and somehow, using the Hotline, if you will, came into play.
Literally using the hotline.
Yeah, and he did it all over the place too, which is more impressive to me. Like he was running the bottom, he was running the top, he ran the middle. He didn't just beat Kyle Larson one way or another. He found a way to beat him. And let's be honest, if we didn't get that late race caution for the Casey Kane flat tire, are we really looking at the same outcome? Probably not.
I don't know. I think Logan got there. I think Logan would have been in that fight. I think we would have had a four, and Donnie was right there. I think we would have had a 4-car fight for the lead at the end.
Yeah, you could really tell that
I-
Logan's tires kind of went away after that caution. They cooled down and sealed over a little bit. I don't know. I think that really could have gone either way, like you said. Between Logan, Donnie, Kyle, and Sheldon, which it was a phenomenal race. I'm glad I stayed awake for it. But we do have one thing coming up this weekend. That's World of Outlaw late models.
Yes, we do.
Starting
Coming up here
tomorrow night. Because we
Yes.
spent 45 minutes talking about sprint cars, and we got Outlaw late models racing this weekend, and you thought you were just gonna gloss over it? No,
I wasn't going to gloss over it. Just a lot. There's a lot to talk about tonight, and there was a lot of great to talk about after this past weekend. But we are getting to that in this weekend's preview coming up here. Of course, got to thank our great sponsor, Fredericksburg Eagle Hotel. Nobody get on the guest list tonight here because we are doing this on a Wednesday because tomorrow night we will be at the Bloomsburg Fair for the first ever visit with the World of Outlaw Case Late Model Series coming to Pennsylvania for their first trip of the season. Looking forward to see Super Late Models first time on, it's not the first time Supers have been on the track. First time we will get to see Supers on the new track of Bloomsburg. Looking forward to that tomorrow night. And then they go to Marion Center Speedway outside State College. I never heard of Marion Center before. I can tell you the damn thing about Marion Raceway before. So, but that'd be cool to see that. And then we all know Saturday night, one of the best late model tracks in the country, Port Royal Speedway, coming up on Saturday night. And late models are so freaking good there, and they're paired with the 410s. Listen, everyone knows, the 410s. They are pushing the show there. But my God, late models are so freaking good at Port Royal. There was nights when I was at Port Royal, and I've said this multiple times over the last couple of years. Late models stole the show over the 410s for about 2 years at Port Royal, and then the last couple of years it's been kind of late models haven't really got the best track at the end of the night. But hopefully they give them the best surface possible for Saturday night because there's going to be a show put on there for the World of Outlaw Case Late Model Series coming up on Saturday night. But Bloomsburg tomorrow night, Adam.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to Bloomsburg tomorrow night. I think they've been doing a lot of improvements since the last time we were there for the All-Stars. I think they added some more clay down, which should be interesting to see with the late models, how they get around on that. Overall, it should be a good night. I'm really, really hoping they get a really good crowd tomorrow, because if there's a track in the area that deserves a good crowd, it's them. They've been putting in the work. They're trying to make the changes that they need to make. They just cannot catch a break when it comes to weather especially last year. This year they had a couple shows canceled in this month alone with the ongoing tire problems that we're having. But it's going to be super cool to see how tomorrow night goes, and it'll be fun because nobody has a notebook on the place. Late model wise, except for maybe a couple regular or local guys that have run there. But I think tomorrow can realistically be anyone's ball game.
Yeah, I agree. I think tomorrow night's gonna be very, very interesting. It's gonna be a good weekend, I think, for late models. It's gonna be hot, so tracks should slick off. Hopefully they don't run out of water this weekend. Gonna be hot, gonna be humid, gonna be a little summer like this weekend. Perfect, just perfect weather.
Don't forget to hydrate.
Don't forget to hydrate. Exactly. Don't be drinking your beer all weekend like you did last weekend. Settle yourself, pace yourself. We got all summer for drinking, so
you're one to talk about pacing yourself.
We don't talk about Bruno. We don't talk about Bruno in this.
By the way, here, boys, just to give you the official Weather Center weather update. 78 degrees and about 20% chance of rain tomorrow night at Bloomsburg.
And that 20% hit Bloomsburg tomorrow night.
That 20% will hit Bloomsburg.
That 20% will damn hit Bloomsburg. But
it's better than what this weekend looks like.
Yeah.
Well, unless you want hotter than hell.
Yeah. See, I like hotter than hell. I'm not looking forward to it because Saturday I'll be in a suit, so I'm not looking forward to that. So swamp ass out the ass on Saturday.
I wish it would just be a dry heat. Like I can take the heat, I just can't stand the humidity.
Yeah, the humidity just absolutely kills it.
Sticky.
Yeah, but it's gonna be nice to have a taste of summer. Even last weekend, it just got so humid on Saturday. I thought too. Saturday and Sunday was just so humid. But whatever. I'll take it. We got the races in on Saturday at least, so I'll take that. And it looks like we're gonna have a good weekend for racing this weekend.
The humidity was nice for the vapor trails. Nothing else.
Yes. Vapor trails. Oh, give me them vapor trails, baby. Oh boy, but what else coming up this weekend? Oh, URC. Yes, we have URC this weekend. We're back in action Friday night at the Big Diamond Speedway. Hope to see if you don't wherever you don't decide to go on this weekend, head on down to Big Diamond. Great show out there with the URC 360 sprint cars and the modified along with Sportsman and Amers. Of course, I won't. I said I won't be there, but Big Stex will be making his debut as one of our pit stewards. So if you see him, come say hi. Introduce yourself to Big Sexy. And then we're back at Winchester on Saturday. Our first trip to Winchester, I believe, ever. Looking forward to see what they can do down there. With URC this weekend, Outlaws are in Ohio this weekend. Attica and Sharon. All-Stars, they are in where are they at? Wisconsin this weekend with IRA. Come up this weekend. Lucas Oil Late Models might get some racing in this weekend finally. And here's an interesting stat. On Friday night, it is going to be USAC sprint cars at Terre Haute. Why the hell is that on Friday before? Why is that on Friday night, a week before Indy, and not the Wednesday before Indy? Damn it! Why? That's bullshit.
I don't know.
Chris, you're an Indy expert. Why? Why?
I don't know that there's necessarily a great answer for it, but my guess is going to be something along the lines of they run Carb Night Classic on Thursday. Running the Wednesday night for some of those teams might be, we'll say, difficult to say the least, to get cars flipped in and out of trailers, and plus it makes it more of a month of May feel. I mean, if you look at the schedule out there between all the stuff going on dirt, all the practice at the Speedway, Carb Night Classic, into the race on Memorial Day Sunday, and then it continues because you have, I think it's the Outlaws on Monday, or the All-Stars are on Monday at Lawrenceburg.
Outlaws at Lawrenceburg, yep.
I mean, it
and
literally
don't forget the
is like
BC
3
double.
weeks of speed. And the BC double, get your ass to Kokomo, 45 minutes up the road from the Speedway. You will make it in time for hot laps. if you hustle out of the speedway.
I
No
really
sitting around
need
for
to get
victory
back
lane
there.
ceremonies, folks. Get your ass to Kokomo.
I need to get back there. It's been a couple years. I think
We need to do the weekend of Indy one year. We will do the weekend of Indy one year.
I
But
think the
Uh,
last time I
We've
was at
talked about it
Kokomo
a
was
little bit.
We
Possibly
have.
doing a bonsai Indy run starting the weekend. I guess it would be like that Tuesday or Wednesday before qualifying weekend,
Mm-hmm.
because you have all the stuff like Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, qualifying Saturday, Sunday at the Speedway, all the dirt stuff all week, little 500, and then you're into race week basically at the Speedway. So you have, I want to say Kokomo and Terre Haute run like Monday, Tuesday, or Tuesday, Wednesday. Thursday's Carb Night Classic. Friday, Saturday, you're back to the usual stuff, and then the 500, and then the Outlaws.
Yeah. So
Don't
no,
forget
little 500. No, I
years
think you had that
years
kind of.
past.
Or yes, little 500 is day before.
Yeah, you had that little backwards there, Chris, because I think it was a Card Night's Friday night now. I think they have that Card Night Friday night, Card Night Classic on
Yeah, it
Friday
might
night
be.
before the 500. Yeah. So, but yeah, Indy is going to be hopping next week. Looking forward to previewing that. The 5 we will set the pole and we'll set the front row on Saturday and the rest of the field on Sunday, if I'm correct.
No,
On that,
new qualifying
no?
procedure and a watch party is coming. I'll come back on camera for this one.
Come on in.
This weekend, Saturday, we'll set positions 13 through 33. Then they come back on Sunday, run. It's basically like a regular IndyCar qualifying session, except they're doing it over 2 days. You break it down to the Firestone Fast 12 that will run first. Cut half of those cars out, and then they all have to run again in the Firestone Fast 6 to set the pole sitter for the greatest spectacle in racing.
Do you still have to beat the gun, though, on Sunday to get a lap in?
No, that is
Okay.
built for TV. That is like TV window timed. However, if everybody gets their run in and there is time left in the session, you can go again. You will have the gun and all that drama coming, but we'll have a watch party on Sunday afternoon. Our Pizza at the Pagoda IndyCar show. We'll have a watch party on Sunday afternoon.
Looking forward to that.
Festivities and shenanigans.
Always shenanigans. Always shenanigans. There's a watch party involved here in National Racing Network.
And don't forget, years past, you used to have, just in the week of the Indy 500 alone, you'd have Terre Haute Wednesday, Hoosier 100 Thursday at the mile. And Friday, you'd have Carb Night and whatever else they got going on at the Speedway. Saturday, the little 500. And then Sunday, the greatest spectacle in all of racing. Like that whole week, just that week alone, you get to see pretty much every discipline in motorsports. For the most part.
And open wheel racing, yes.
Yeah. With the exception of, obviously, NASCAR and a couple other things. But,
open wheels, everything is there because you would have midgets, you have Silver Crown, you have
midgets, Silver Crown,
winged and wingless sprints, Indy Lights, Indy cars,
It's funny that you mentioned Indy Lights there, Bert, because that is the one race of the week that they've gotten rid of, and I wish for everything they would bring back.
They don't have the Freedom 100
anymore.
Damn it.
That had two of the best finishes in the history of motorsports.
Yes.
The first year, I want to say 2013, 2014, 4 wide at the finish. The margin of victory from first to fourth was 0.007 seconds. It was incredible.
God, Indy's awesome.
Everything about that place is just magical.
It is. And we will have an Indy 500 preview clip next week. Of course, you can go listen to Pizza at the Pagoda. They are your IndyCar experts. Maybe we'll bring one of the boys on for our Indy 500. Listen, if there's one
if we can get Shadow Jesus, Ben Carswell, and if not him, probably Jason Owens maybe, because he lives about 5 minutes from the Speedway. So He's
Oh, no shit.
his work from home is a suite in turn 2.
Oh, shit. Ah, that's awesome.
Lucky
But
bastard.
listen, yeah, exactly. But listen, if there's one asphalt race we will cover on this show, it is the greatest spectacle in racing, and that is the Indianapolis 500, because it is the greatest race of all time. And without the Indianapolis 500, there wouldn't be no Highside Hustle, because Indy cars were sprint cars back in the 50s. Go look it up, kids. You'll be really impressed when you go back and look that shit up. So that's
By the way, thank you very much, Cole Wise, sending some stars on Facebook. Very
Hey,
cool.
thanks, Cole.
Thank you,
Thanks
sir.
a lot. Go check out Apex Media. That's Cole's photography and video stuff. Check them out on TikTok too. They do a lot of cool TikTok videos on
We
over
have
there.
a TikTok. We should give you
TikTok?
2 idiots the control of the TikTok.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Tomorrow night
God.
at Bloomsburg.
I like that idea.
I will send login information.
Send login information. We will cause shenanigans on that. But listen, TikTok's fun. It's addicting and it's fun.
It's
You hit it right.
and you can do a lot of interesting racing stuff with it too, like slow mos and add music in behind the slow mos, and
Or
now you
talk shit on the
now you got me,
Outlaws, like I did all weekend on TikTok.
now you got me thinking, Chris, because I might just have to do a slow mo during qualifying if I'm still on the outside.
Don't give away your
Yeah,
secrets.
I have plans for this.
These guys are big plans.
Nice.
I have
Yes.
plans.
We'll blow this shit up. We will blow this shit up. Don't you worry. Give us idiots a either blow it up or blow it up. So
Yeah.
either way.
I got
All right.
that's-
Anything else before we end this shit show here, boys?
not that I can think of. God, who is? I'm gonna say I'd like to see Jeff Ryan pick up a win this weekend somewhere.
Yes.
That'd be neat, especially against the Outlaws. I don't
I'll
know.
go with
Who's even full touring it this year?
I'll go Max Blair tomorrow night at Bloomsburg, even though I think Ryan has a good shot tomorrow night. I'll go Max Blair, Bloomsburg. Herb, he's been running very well so far this year. So I think that's a good one. I don't know what Smokey's doing this weekend. He may come in. Because he is a defending winner at Port Royal this over last year. Actually, he swept both nights Port Royal last year. Let's see here. Friday night, I can't even tell you. I'll go. I don't know. I'll go Boom Briggs. What the hell? Or actually, no, Josh Richards. I'll go the team car, Josh Richards. So I'll go Josh Richards on Friday night. And Saturday, I'll go at Port. I'll go our boy Colton Flinner. He's been so good at Port lately. So it could be him or
Yeah.
Saturday. Ooh, Saturday would probably be running this weekend. Ooh.
Yeah, it's a
Port.
tricky week. It's a tricky weekend to make picks for.
I'm sticking with
It's
Flinner.
so
I'm
wide
still going to
open.
stick with Flinner on
It's so
Saturday
wide
night.
open tomorrow and Friday, and then Saturday. I'd like to see Flinner win. He's been very fast at the track.
Mm-hmm.
And what a way to pick off his first touring win against the Outlaws. That'd be pretty neat. I'd like to see Richards or Boom get a win. That team's been pretty well struggling as a whole. So I don't know. We'll see what happens.
Mm-hmm. See what happens. It's gonna be a fun weekend for you late model fans. After our sprint car fans, we had our fun last weekend with the Outlaws. Now the late model posse has their chance coming up here this weekend to do some damage against World of Outlaw Case Late Model Series, and of course all of our friends over there. Had multiple people on the show from the late models. We've had Hannah Newhouse. We've had Rick Eshelman on this show here. Yeah, we have a ton of friends here. Of course, our good friend JC Nogard will be in this weekend. Michael Oren will be in too this weekend. We're looking forward to see a lot of people, a lot of good friends that we have with the World of Outlaw Case Late Model Series. But that's coming up tomorrow night. But we have a lot of stuff coming on the National Racing Network this coming weekend. I hope so, Chris. If not, I'm going to be a liar. What's coming up on the National Racing Network?
My mic has gone completely potato here.
It has.
Yes, a lot of stuff coming up here on the National Racing Network, including tonight the Sim Racers Club. And, well, I'm just going to kill it now and say Watch Sunday. It'll be fun.
Perfect. Pizza Pagoda Sunday watch party. Check them out. Always a good time with those boys. And yeah, that's going to do it for this edition of the Highside Hustle. To everyone for watching here. Once again, thanks to their great sponsors, the Fredericksburg Eagle Hotel. Go check them out. Fantastic wings, bands every weekend. Definitely on the deck should be open up soon out there in Fredericksburg. Best wings, of course, half off on your birthday. And yeah, go see if you can't get a shot for free. What the hell? Not where's it? Of course, 34 Motorsports sponsoring the ticker down below with all the results throughout the week. And of course, sponsor of News and Notes, Finches Meat Markets, where
Nobody beats his meat.
like Finch the best. He will beat that meat to perfection, as he always does.
That's enough.
That's enough. Hey, listen. See you in phrasing. Anyway, folks, that's going to do it for the Highside Hustle.
Back?
Oh, it's coming back. That's going to do it for the Highside Hustle here tonight. Coming up next week on the show, of course, we'll have all the results from this past weekend. We'll talk about the Outlaws being in this weekend, late model side of things. And, of course, we will preview, not only do we have another big weekend here in Central PA with the Bob Weicker Memorial coming up at Port Royal, 29,000 to win next Sunday with the Tezo All-Stars. All-Stars are back at the Grove Friday night. And, of course, it is going to be the greatest spectacle in racing weekend, the Indianapolis 500. We will have a preview of that coming up here. And we have a jam-packed show coming up for you, hopefully next Thursday night. So for everyone here at the National Racing Network, thank you so much for watching. Give us a like. Don't forget to subscribe to us on YouTube, National Racing Network, all of us over on Twitter, Facebook, what have you. So for everyone here, for executive producer Chris Graham, that is Big Sexy Adam Rubright. My name is Bert Wojcik, folks. Keep on hustling. We will see you all next week here on the Highside Hustle. Enjoy the races.